All right, guys. Like Caleb said, this is episode 17. We got a jam-packed episode for you guys. There's a lot for us to get through. Caleb and I have about 4 pages of notes to talk about.
Yes.
Biggest and foremost is, of course, the new Backstreet Boys radio.
Wow.
It's titled All I Have to Give Radio. For those that are saying it is a podcast, I guess in our opinion, it's not because they're playing music. It's an actual radio station. And a podcast is more a conversation between 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 people to where they are talking about things, but there's no music playing. This is an actual radio station. Caleb, have you had the chance to listen to any of it yet?
So I have not. I was going to last night, and you told me not to.
You're dang right. You're dang right.
Last night was the first time I had, a little bit of free time. So I was like, ooh. And you said, no, don't do it.
No, I've got some quizzes wrote up. I spent about 2 hours this morning coming up with. So what they do in the first, I would say 40 minutes of the radio broadcast is they do what they call a round robin. They go around the table. They talk about things that they've been listening to through the quarantine, things that their kids have turned them on to artist-wise. And I just think it's very interesting. Yeah. And once we get into this, Caleb, I want to throw out the artist and the song and see if you know who it could be that chose that song.
Ooh, I probably do. I know.
I bet you'll have a good
taste.
one. Yeah, I bet you'll have a good idea.
That's awesome.
First thing I want to ask you, Caleb, the quality, the internet speed. I've done some upgrades. Caleb's always doing upgrades all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did notice
I don't
that.
know if people can see that, but that is a gun, virtual reality gun wall. Like my guns, there's a vest, there's arms. I mean, I have pistols up top, which you guys can't see, but my Oculus Rift. I mean.
So what do you use that for, Caleb? What games are you using that for?
So I play a lot of virtual reality on the Oculus Rift for the PC, and pretty much I have like about 80, 90 games. I buy pretty much all the big titles and the good games, and I got nunchucks over there. Whoa. Swinging right there. I got I got a lot of stuff, man. But yeah, this whole vest, it's got arms, it's got everything, and vibrations whenever I get shot. So this is a huge upgrade, and also the Backstreet Boys will be going right here.
That's awesome.
I'm putting a shelf, so I'll have my pops up there this week.
That's really cool, man. Some other big news in pop culture is Caleb and our main man Alejandro have been sharing a lot of it. Is the new Snyder Cut for Justice League. Caleb, I messaged you last night. To me, it looks like a different movie. You gave me a little behind the scenes action. Tell us a little bit about Snyder Cut.
So the Snyder Cut is Zack Snyder's Justice League. There was a lot of reshoots, and Zack Snyder, the director and writer, was dismissed due to his daughter who had committed suicide, and he wasn't able to complete the reshoots. And when he basically got the film, he refused to watch it after being told, so everything's changed. This is not your movie anymore. And, executives kind of took over and hired Joss Whedon, who also did Avengers 1 and 2. And so Snyder, to this day, has never seen that actual cut. So this is an actual 4-hour, brand new, not one single scene from the original used.
That's wild.
4 hours. It's going to be remarkable, guys. Yesterday was DC Fandom. Little convention for DC. So we saw the Batman, which is remarkable. It's a noir type Batman. It's going to, people made I forgot what it's some kind of hashtag, and it's using Robert Pattinson's last name. But it's just so cool. Like the reception of it was so excellent, and we had a couple game reveals, which is really cool for us. Another Batman game and a Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League kind of game, which is insane, but okay, roll with it, you know?
Yeah. I just think it's amazing that we're actually getting movies and cinema again, man. That's been a long time coming, you know?
And it's not going to be a lot for this year. I think there's only, if I'm not mistaken, I think 8 for the remaining of the year, because everything else is pushed back to 2021, including Top Gun 2, you know?
Yeah.
But we are getting Wonder Woman
I did see
in
that.
October. So that's exciting.
My daughter will be happy about that. Big Wonder Woman fan.
I just hope the CGI of Kristen Wiig's Cheetah character doesn't look like Cats, because that was horrendous, guys.
That was poor Taylor Swift.
Did y'all watch it?
I watched cuts of it. Just
okay. I watched 12 minutes of it and I turned it off. And I'm a huge Cats fan, and even just musical fan. But that was a no.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of podcasters talking about it within the last year, and they're just
James Corden, he even said we're not talking about this.
Yeah.
He's got nothing to say about the movie. No one who took part in that movie says anything good.
Yeah. I just think you get that many big name people in there, it needs to be a big movie, and that's not the case.
The CGI Cats, man.
All right, man. Let's get into some Backstreet Boy info here.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
All right. So first thing I want to point out, Brian is pretty much taking the charge on the on at least episode 1 of All I Have to Give Radio.
That's interesting.
He's what I would call the VJ.
Is this did they just release one episode, or is it a bunch?
They said it's going to be a bunch.
So it's just one per week, or?
Yeah, that's kind of what I've got the understanding of. And maybe other people will take charge of each episode. I don't know. I mean, This is Brian makes it very, very known. He goes, "Hey, I'm leading this thing. You guys stop interrupting me." It's kind of funny.
Ooh.
So first thing Howie points out is the show me the meaning of being lonely in the new Scoob movie, Scooby-Doo.
Yes. I watched that scene. I bought it, but I've only watched that scene.
Apparently, they did not get nobody reached out to the Backstreet Boys, apparently, from their management, and licensed it through the Backstreet Boys. So none of them knew it was going to be in the movie.
Did they get paid?
I don't know, because they're like, I had no idea. Even AJ talks about him being out by the pool and his wife calling him in. She goes, "Did you guys know about this?" And Kevin's like, "Not one person reached out to us about it." Crazy, right? Yeah.
Show me the meaning of being paid.
Yeah, exactly. So they do a round robin, right? Where they go through all 5 of them and things that they have been listening to through the quarantine, and what their kids have shown them, and just different types of music to kind of make up the Voltron quote of the Backstreet Boys, right?
Wow.
The first song that is chosen, and okay, so a little backstory here. I wrote down all the songs and titles and the artist who sings it, and I'm going to ask Caleb if he knows who chose that song. All right. First one is "Adore You" by Harry Styles. Do you know who picked that song?
I would probably say AJ.
No, it is very close. Very close. It is Howie.
Of course, I'm going to be close.
Yeah, there you go. 1 in 5 chance. 1 in 5 chance. Howard Durow picks "Adore You" by Harry Styles.
I've never heard that song, so
either have I. I've only heard of one.
Maybe if I knew how it sounded, I could say who it was.
I would sing it, but we know that that's not going to be good for the podcast. So
it's okay, man. It's okay.
The second one is I'll give you a hint. I would have chosen Nick, but it is not Nick. Okay,
it's Brian.
No. Okay, now we got 3 out of the 5 here. "The Rain" by Missy Elliott. I can't stop the rain.
That's AJ.
No, it's Kevin.
Oh man, I'm gonna lose.
Hey man. So just take now. We got 2 out of the way, right? Out of the round table, 2 out of the way.
I don't even remember the 2, but yes.
These next 3, I've heard of 1. Now think of the kids. Okay, now we're thinking kids. of why they've chosen this. Okay.
Yeah.
The Sonic the Hedgehog song "Speed Up" by
Nick.
Wiz Khalifa. There you go.
Yeah. Because his son is crazy about Sonic.
That's true. So during the radio show, again, we don't get to see it. Another reason I don't call it a podcast is Odin comes in, right? And Kevin starts laughing. Everybody starts laughing. And his wife is going to give Odin a blue Sonic the Hedgehog haircut. So
yes,
he chooses "Speed Me Up" by Wiz Khalifa.
Wow.
All right. So now you got 3 out of the way, which leaves 2. Okay. We got a 50-50 shot at these. Okay. So now this is more of a older blues kind of song called "Lovin' Is Easy" by Red
Kevin.
Orange. Nope. Kevin chose the red.
Oh, no, guys.
AJ McLean.
Come on.
He actually sings it too. That's what's really cool about these first few songs is they're singing them. It's pretty cool. So that leaves us with Brian with John Mayer. Still feel like your man.
Yeah, that would be Brian. That's Brian.
Yeah, that's easy, right?
That was an easy one.
I think it's crazy.
You gave it to me.
Yeah, I think it's crazy because they talk about meeting John Mayer. Yep. One time was at the Playboy Mansion.
Wow.
Yep.
Kevin of people met him there.
Kevin brings up the Playboy Mansion quite a bit in this episode. We're gonna leave that out, but
what's the Playboy Mansion?
Never been, never heard of it.
I was never invited.
So the crazy thing about this podcast or the radio station thing is a lot of the things that they talk about in episode 1, you and I have talked about in a lot of our episodes.
Come on.
Talking about how when they tried to release "We've Got It Going On" in the States, it flopped. It was number 69 on the dance charts in 1995.
Mind blowing.
So me knowing you and you knowing the Backstreet Boys info, what did they do when it flopped in the United States?
Didn't they tour the other country?
They did.
Canada,
they did.
Was it?
Yep. They went from France to Canada to Germany. And it's just insane to me that this is people that know the behind the scenes things on the Backstreet Boys know this stuff. But for people that only know DNA, they have no idea.
Nope. They don't know the history. And it's very, very crazy too, man. Just the idea of that happening, because I mean nowadays, because we have the internet, it's so much easier for things to go viral no matter what country. Like I don't know if you had seen the show Eurovision with Will Ferrell. And like those songs are like viral, like every single country, we all know it, we all love it. The reception is nothing but like, this is just, these are great. The movie's amazing. But back then there was no internet, there was radio, and that was pretty much it. I'm 99.
Yeah, it's insane to me that they talk about how many songs that they recorded as they were touring France, Canada, Germany, stuff like that, to make up the Red album and the Backstreet's Back album.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then later on, when we get talking about like Never Gone and stuff, they talk about how many songs they cut for that track, and it's insane to me. It's
probably
crazy.
65.
Yeah, dude, 60 to 70 is what they said.
Yep.
And then Kevin says one day we'll release it to Apple Music.
Yeah, just like that country album.
So Nick chose from the Red album, he chose "We've Got It Going On."
Wow.
They talk about how many songs that they've cut for Backstreet's Back. They actually shot the videos for "We've Got It Going On." No, I'm sorry, for Backstreet's Back, "As Long as You Love Me," and "All I Have to Give," all within 2 weeks.
Yep.
That's insane, man.
That's some dedication right there, especially with how long music videos take to shoot. Now, you're talking about, 3 to 5 days, I mean, sometimes longer.
Yep.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yep. It took them 3 days just to shoot Backstreet's Back.
Yeah. Wow, man. That's crazy.
That's insane. It's mind blowing.
I want to know about the choreography, just how long it took them to actually get that. Because
Yeah,
man, that's a video right there.
that
That
is.
video right there is remarkable, even today.
Yep. As you and I know, it was based off of the Michael Jackson Thriller
Yeah,
video. They wanted to pay tribute to people that paved the way for them, like Michael Jackson.
they said we can do better. No, I'm just
And they
kidding.
did. I think they did.
Whoo,
this
man.
this next song, we jump to Backstreet's Back. This is something that made me think of you when I first heard it. AJ chose Set Adrift on Memory Bliss, said it was his favorite song off the entire album. Go on, please. Please elaborate.
I mean, I like it, but it's usually the song that I skip.
Really?
Oh no, I'm sorry. No. Ha 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 ha. Oh,
Yep.
no, I'm sorry. No. I'm thinking about something else. No. Now
I've
that
heard you talk
song,
about Set Adrift before, so
yeah. The harmonies, man. That is for them being so young and being so fresh and new. With the albums and everything. Making that song and making it sound that way is remarkable, man.
yeah, man.
That's a
AJ really
beautiful
shines
song.
on it.
Yes, he does.
So a fun fact is AJ's brother-in-law was actually a part, and this was way before, obviously, because
hmm
he didn't meet his wife until years later. His brother-in-law was actually a part of the Everybody video shoot.
Oh, come on.
Yep, and his
Wow.
father-in-law, his now father-in-law, was a part of
Mhm.
the As Long as You Love Me video shoot.
Wow.
Apparently, they're in the business somewhere, man. But that's crazy, right?
That's wow. Yeah, it is.
So now we'll jump to the Millennium Era. So they each choose until they get to DNA, then they choose a few, but they each
Wow.
choose a song off of each album that
hmm
was one of their favorites. Um, the Millennium Era, as you and I know, but for people that might just be tuning in, we've talked about this quite a bit.
hmm
They went through a lot of adversity while pumping out the Millennium sound or the Millennium album. Brian said Millennium because they go on and they talk about how it was one of their best albums. Brian cuts everybody off and says, "No, let's be honest. Millennium was one of the best albums in pop history."
Wow.
He said, not just because of what they did,
It
but
sure is.
because it is because of the trend that they set for bands and musical artists to come. You know,
People tried imitating. I mean, now there were some
yeah,
that was successful though. Of course, NSYNC.
yep,
NSYNC had that imitation, but at the same time different. You
yep, I
know,
agree.
definitely. I mean, they. I mean, I can even say they probably even paved the way for Britney Spears and things like
Yeah,
that to be accepted. Because at the time, when Backstreet Boys had come out, you know, I mean, there was Boys to Men before that. There was the Jackson Five. There was a lot of people before, but this was like, I guess you can call it a trend, a starting of a trend for
yep,
the music industry. Which is why like Lou, when New Kids had done it, Lou wanted that. I remember, Backstreet Boys and interviews, multiple interviews saying like he had watched him and said, I can do that,
yep,
you know.
yep, and he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, he started a trend.
Yep. Without the big bad wolf, Lou Pearlman, we have no Backstreet Boys. So,
It's true. Insane. I
uh,
mean, there's so
any
many
of
different
them.
artists. Yeah. Wow.
What's mind blowing to me about this is, as you and I know, and I think they talk about it in Show 'Em What You're Made Of, the documentary.
hmm
Like Kevin says a lot. This was during the times of gangster rap and Nirvana
Yeah.
and Snoop, Dre, Tupac, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So you get five guys coming in dancing and singing alike, doing harmonies.
Yeah.
There has to be a transition, and this was
Yeah.
where they said, "Hey, we're here. We're not going anywhere."
hmm It's absolutely true. It's
I agree.
remarkable.
Nick said that Millennium album is exactly what the world needed. Um,
Wow.
so to kind of put in perspective of what they have been doing before Millennium
hmm
is they were going through management change. They had 50 to 75% of the album finished while they were still trying to find managers and a record label. AJ's mom was
Wow.
actually their manager at the time,
Come on.
doing the day-to-day, booking them stuff. Their current management had locked up all their touring equipment, all of their album stuff, and locked it away so that they can use it.
Oh, that's
Wild, right?
crazy. Yeah,
Crazy, dude.
yeah, it is.
So when they say stuff like that, do you think that means right? Their manager, right? Was the right guy?
Mhm.
That's wild.
That's insane to me.
Yeah. So Millennium was the last album that they wrote when Dennis
Mhm.
Pop was still alive. So the
Yes.
song that Kevin chooses is Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely, which
Mhm.
honored Dennis Pop in the music video.
Sure did. It sure did.
It's a sad song, man.
Yeah, and it's one they do so well even live
Yeah.
today. I like when they first, you know, when it first breaks in. No matter how many times I've seen them, and I've only seen them like uh, four times perform. But no matter how many times I've seen them perform that song live and also just on YouTube, it's just all I see is a music video.
Yeah, man.
I've watched it so many times, man.
Yeah, and I didn't know that that was an honor to Dennis Pop. I mean, I knew that it had something to do with it, but they said the music video, as we've talked about in episodes prior, there's a lot going on during Millennium,
Yep.
and each of them have their own loss. But the music video was shot to honor Dennis Pop.
I've actually had somebody tell me the video was Brian watching the resuscitation was a honor to Biggie Smalls, and I just
Really?
laughed. No, I just laughed.
Oh,
It's not real. It's not true. And I was
uh,
like, I don't know where you got that from, but that's pretty good.
yeah, it's okay. I
I was
mean,
like, oh, okay, and it could be, but no,
no.
it's not.
So this next album, Black and Blue, I'm
Oh,
sorry we're
man.
moving on along at a fast click here, but there's a
Oh,
lot to
that's
get
okay.
into.
That's
Okay.
okay.
The next album, Black and Blue,
Hmm.
Brian actually came up with the album title because he said,
Wow.
"This is how I feel right now, beaded,
Mm.
blacked, and blued." You know.
Wow.
So they said that's how they felt at the time. AJ said that they grow with every album, which is another thing that I feel like
Mm.
they may have watched our podcast because that is exactly what we say.
They're reiterating everything so
Yeah.
far.
Yep. Um, so he said, without Millennium, they would have never been able to do Black and Blue because Millennium gave them the courage and the stripes to release and say things on Black and Blue that they've always wanted to say.
Wow.
Um, all of them say that Black and Blue material, songwriting, album, and music videos were all top notch. They were at the top of their game. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on that?
I mean, Black and Blue will always stand as one of the best albums. Growing up and even now, I mean, there's not a song that's skippable. Even Shining Star, like, there's no song that's like skippable for me. Me personally, I want to know the creativity and the writing, and I know, a writer can be, how do you call it? Like the call and get another boyfriend. I want to know because not every song has a meaning to it. It's just it was written by somebody and it was given to us to record. But I just want to know, like looking back on it now, how they feel about just like get another boyfriend or the call especially because it's just like it just talks about cheating.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
My
just
wife
want to
hates
know.
that song.
Oh, I tell you what though, man, they kill it,
Yeah.
man. Like especially in Vegas. Oh my goodness, that
Yeah.
performance. I mean, it was weird. It was like a strip show at first, and I was just like, "What's going on?" And them sitting on chairs, and Nick's like, you know, just doing his part. I'm like, this is so crazy.
I agree. I
But I would
agree.
love to know the meetings. That's one thing about like Black and Blue is more. I think I would be more invested into knowing about what was the writing process because the video for the call what and we've talked about it before was remarkable, tremendous. Like
Yeah.
it's so funny,
Yeah.
and at the time I was a kid, but now I just want to know, is it based on anyone's experience? And of course, we know that, it was AJ's first time, just, I mean, it was a start of his drug use, really, like
Yep.
his bad drug use. But I just want to know you know, if anything else is, you know, meant things to the other boys.
They talk about how Get Another Boyfriend, The Call, and then AJ chooses Shape of My Heart off of the album, which I've always thought this song meant more to AJ than to everybody else, because after the screening of Show 'Em What You're Made Of, when they're doing that acoustic concert, when they go looking back on the things I've done, whatever, AJ stands up, goes to Kevin and grabs him, puts his arm around him. You know, it talks about that part of the song has always meant a lot to me, but I know it has to mean a lot to AJ because Kevin saved his life, saved his career, went on, probably saved a marriage and him being a father.
Definitely.
Crazy to me, bro. Yeah. Anyways,
and you know, the lyrics, you know, he had said it best when he said, "Help me, I can't win this war."
Yeah, man.
You know, that's and I'm sure that's probably I know I'm crying.
Man,
I'm sure that's probably the worst thing about performing that song is knowing, you know, because when I sing a song, for instance, you know, it's the craziest thing, but when I sing a song, the memories are flooding back. Like, you know, there was like, you know, I was going through a hard time when I was like 18 years old. And I just remember, like, there was a song from Damian Wardo. And I remember, like, when the song comes to my Spotify, it comes on, I remember, because that's the song I used to listen to in that time. That song was invested in me. And I absolutely love the song, but it brings back the memories of the pain that I was going through.
Yeah, man.
You know, and for AJ to still perform every single song, for any of them to perform, you know, the songs, and it's not even about liking it or not. It's just like, you know, I remember recording this and just, you know, not being the best person, you know.
Right.
And, but yeah, I do love, you know, help me, I can't win this war.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah. Makes me think of my wife, man. A lot of things that happen. A lot of things that have happened. There's just no way I would have been able to get through it. So this is crazy. Think about this. During the middle of their Black and Blue tour, 9/11 happens.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep.
That's insane to me.
That's scary.
I would have never put two and two together, you know, without this radio show.
Nope.
So then Howie jumps in right after AJ chooses Shape of My Heart. And again, I thought of you. Howie chooses What Makes You Different is What Makes You Special.
Oh, what makes you special? No, makes you beautiful.
That's what I said. Cut that part out. Cut that part out. I was thinking special because Howie says he wants to
these videos.
I mean, we don't. Howie says he wants to get it on the Special Olympics tour. He wants them to play that song at the Special Olympics. That's what makes. Yeah.
Why hasn't it?
I don't know. He said he's been trying for years.
I mean, I refer to that song as the Princess Diaries song.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy.
I love that song though, by the way. I mean, you know, I think they ought to perform that. Like a new kid, like you know, I'll Make Love to You with Boyz II Men on the tour. They go around giving flowers while singing I'll Make Love to You. The Backstreet Boys should go into the crowds and sing that song.
I agree.
Flowers, man. That it's a very, very special song. Very, very meaningful. And I don't know why they wrote it, but I'm sure they could sing it to their wives too now.
Absolutely.
You know.
So then we get into the Never Gone era, right? And this is where you and I made them. I don't want to call it a meme because memes are funny, but where Brian says it actually Never Gone took a few years to record. They actually took 2 years to record the album. He said this was the album where I became a man, I became a father, I became someone I always wanted to become. Wow. And you can tell when Brian's talking about it how much this album means to him.
Yeah.
They actually had 60 to 70 songs recorded for this album because it was meant to be at start an R&B record. Then Max Martin came to them and said, I want to get back to my old ways of recording. And so that's where it kind of turned into more of an alternative, I don't want to call it rock, but alternative type of album.
It was, because it wasn't anything like Millennium. It wasn't anything like Backstreet Boys. I mean, it was a, hey, let's go ahead and take it slow.
Hmm.
Let's slow it down a little bit. And um, I mean, the songs and the lyrics were impacting.
Yeah,
Man, I love Never Going album. I
so
really
do
do.
I. So Brian chooses "Climbing the Walls" as his favorite song from this album, and it was originally meant to be on the original Spider-Man soundtrack.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
I did not know that, my man.
Yeah, I mean, I just, I, I think "Climbing the Walls" is one of the songs that are, it's definitely not known by a lot of folks.
Hmm.
But I love listening to it. Like when the way Brian opens up to it and opens it up, it's just lyrically, I was like, this is actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you can kind of picture Spider-Man.
Hmm.
Once you start listening to it, like, yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah. So then they get into the song that they actually play is the "Never Gone" song. Kevin wrote it for his father.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's a beautiful song, though.
that is.
It is.
So here's what really, I won't say bothers me, but
Mhm.
here's what I
Troubles
don't
you.
troubles me. I do not understand because they talk about how they have 10 studio albums, right?
Yeah.
They go from "Never Gone" to "DNA."
Mm.
They skip "This Is Us." They skip,
Oh wait, for real?
yes.
Why?
I don't know. They don't talk about it. They skip.
DNA.
uh, they skip "In a World Like This." Not one song from "This Is Us." Not one song from "In a World Like This."
That bothers me.
It troubles me too, my friend.
that I mean, is it time constraint? Probably not. I mean, all three of those albums had good. I mean, they had good songs on them. I mean, well, fantastic. Some of them were great, like fantastic. That's weird.
What
Why?
bothers me the most is I can see them skipping over "This Is Us." I can see it, even though
Sure,
I don't like the fact that they would do it.
sure.
But you talk about how much pride, how much time they put into in a world like this.
Yeah,
You don't pick one song. You talk about how the world needed Millennium at the time that it needed it.
yeah,
You don't talk about how the world needs to hear in a world like this. You guys
yeah.
wrote all the songs. It was on your own record label.
Yep,
The entire episode was an hour 40 something, right?
yep.
They talk about how they're going to need 10,000 episodes to get through all of their music, right? Perfect. Fine. I love
Wow.
it. We're on episode 17 and we haven't even touched things that we need to touch on.
Yep.
You can't pick one song from in a world like this. I mean,
That's
we need
odd.
it. We need it right now, dude.
I don't understand why they would do that. Even though like they perform Undone,
Yeah.
every night. I really don't understand that.
Look at my notes. In big, bold level letters, mind blowing. They skipped "In a World Like This." Mind blowing.
Wow. Yeah, I'm pretty flabbergasted, I think is the
I'm
word.
mad.
Yeah, like I don't understand that. Once again, we had talked about it, like in a world like this needs to be performed.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't understand that.
You pick a single song from
Yeah,
every single record. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. I get why you skipped "This Is Us." I understand it. I get it.
sure, sure.
But what about "Unbreakable"?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
at the beginning of it, they said that they have 10 studio albums. They're going on
Did you
27,
maybe
28
like
years.
lag out and like skip that 20-minute segment?
I've listened to it 4 times. 4 times I've
I'm gonna
listened
go
to it.
listen to it today. Um, wow, that's interesting, man. It
Yeah,
really is.
yeah. It makes me angry.
I'm
Whatever.
disappointed in that though.
Me
I'm very
too.
disappointed.
Uh okay, so let's do it for them.
That
Yeah.
was a Debbie Downer. That was a Debbie Downer of the
We,
podcast episode.
we were riding high. We were riding
Yeah,
high.
now I just want to hang up and cry.
Yeah. Let's do it for him.
Yeah.
Let's start with This Is Us. You go ahead. You choose what song you would have played on the radio for it.
Probably This Is Us.
That's a good one.
I mean, because it was more broken down in a sense. And it really showed them like, hey, these guys can still sing exactly how they did, you know. I thought This Is Us, and was I mean, there's quite a few of them, but if the album is called This Is Us, then that should be, and the song is called This Is Us, and that should probably be the representation of the album.
It was different than the entire album.
It was.
It was more Backstreet Boys to me.
Yep.
I think you brought up a lot of like the PDA song was more of like a T-Pain type of.
It was an experimental album. For at the time, that's what people were doing. Everybody was using autotune, you know. I mean, everybody still uses autotune. Maybe not to that T-Pain extent anymore. You know, you can kind of define every artist now versus back then. What was that, 2009?
Ish. Keep going. I'll look it up.
So, I mean, let's just say in that era, like, you know, you had every single person who were, you know, you had rappers, you had R&B, you had country using autotune. You still do, but you have all these different genres experimenting, and that's okay. Everybody has that experimental album, and it you know, it either works or it doesn't. I found, you know, besides. And I don't hate PDA. I mean, I listen to it and I just laugh. You know, it's fun. but you know, Vicky doesn't like PDA at all.
I don't like what it stands for.
I don't know. You know, and that's the thing. The lyrics wise, it didn't make any sense for it to ever be a Backstreet Boys song, experimental or not. It just didn't make any kind of sense.
Yeah. So it was recorded 2008, released in 2009. I like. Straight Through My Heart.
Oh my goodness, that's the second.
It's just more of a Backstreet Boy-esque song. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And the video was just awesome too.
Yeah. Shout out to Bridges for correcting me on my lyric that I always say. Straight through my heart, silver bullet, which isn't what I say.
She aimed and she shot me. I just can't believe it.
I do. I think we talked about the video before with the girls from BSB Fangirls.
Yeah.
Shout out to you guys. Miss you guys.
Hey.
I love the video. I mean, it was during the Teen Wolf. Goodness gracious, the vampire movie. Help me out.
I don't know.
Goodness.
Movie.
Yeah,
there was a bunch of them at that time. Everything was about vampires.
The love story with the guy that's going to play Batman.
Twilight.
Thank you. I'm sweating now. I couldn't think of it.
I mean, that was an era. You know, again, most of these songs, most of these, you know, inspirations of doing things, especially albums, is because of the time that we're living in at that time. So they were incorporating everything, and but yeah, that video and you know, the harmonies on that song, especially when they're doing it live, which they've done it quite a lot, not anytime recent at all, but when they were going on these networks and doing live performances of it, they killed it.
Yeah.
Even when Brian wasn't able to sing, you know, he was a lot worse. I would say he was a lot worse, I guess. But I don't know about that. But
I don't know, man. He is. I hate to say this. You'll see it when you go and listen to it today. Shout out to Caleb for not listening to it strictly because I wanted to quiz him. We do a lot. We put a lot of work into these episodes, people, believe it or not. So the fact that I've had Caleb not listen to the entire thing and it's been out for a week
bothers me.
All right, let's move on to Unbreakable. I'll go first. Give you a second to think about your song off of it. I think I know what your song's gonna be, but give it a minute. Mine is probably Inconsolable or Unmistakable. Probably Inconsolable, strictly because I liked when they. It's just one of those songs that probably could have been on any album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could have easily been on. It could have been a DNA song. Honestly, I mean, it's that good to me.
Yeah. You know, I mean, yeah. See, I would say "Helpless When She Smiles."
Knew it.
I I was trying to remember if it was a bonus track, but no, it's not. Huh? It's on the album. So yeah, "Helpless When She Smiles" would be, you know, would be my absolute favorite. It's meaningful, but also I'll tell you another one. Um, the intro,
Dude, I was gonna pick the intro.
the
I
the
was.
intro, because that was like, can these boys still sing? And then all of a sudden, who, like, and it's all voices, it's all harmonies. And that was kind of, I would say that was kind of like, all right, here's our real voices, and here's what we do. No music. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
You know, I do like the intro too.
We did that backwards. That's my fault. It should have been "This Is Us" after Unbreakable, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think that's
That's
right.
my bad. That's my bad. um,
Now I also do like "You Can Let Go," because
really?
it doesn't sound like the Backstreet Boys song. It sounds like they were experimenting with country. You know, you can also, I mean, if you think about it, you can hear one country artist singing it, and it just makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, but I do like it because Nick has to like scream.
Yeah.
You
So AJ and Brian actually wrote "One in a Million" off of the record.
Ooh, she takes off her clothes. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, and I believe that was a bonus track.
Wow.
I think.
No, that was
No?
number. I'm looking on here. It's number 7.
Oh, yep, you're
Yeah,
right. Yep, you're right.
number 7, man.
That's pretty
Um,
awesome.
I don't know why I thought "Helpless When She Smiles" was a bonus track. I don't know why. It's
It
been
was
it's forever, man. Now, I don't even
yeah,
look at it now. I just hit Backstreet Boys and shuffle.
me too. It was the year I graduated, 2007.
Wow.
I'm old.
What was the song you didn't like on the album? Because I do have one. I do have
Everything
one.
but mine.
Oh, that was mine.
Yeah, I just don't. I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like it was too experimental.
Yeah,
It was no back. There was no recognition that it was the Backstreet Boys.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yes.
All right, so the one that we've talked about probably the most, because I love it. In a world like this.
All right, let me pull that up.
Yep.
I have this.
I'm a huge fan. Obviously, everybody should know that by now if you've listened to any of our podcasts. In a world like this, you still there?
All right.
Did I lose you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Here. I don't know why I pulled this up. I could have told you the whole list. I don't know.
Yeah. This banger after banger. Why not play this, or why not talk about it? It's not, there's no way it's done that bad that you need to just forget about it.
Except for "Feels Like Home." I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like Soldier.
Wow, 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 wow. Oh man. But Soldier didn't, it was like a marching song. And I mean, I liked it, but I would have to agree, like, but "Permanent Stain," I heard that about 7,000 times a week it came out.
I like "Permanent Stain."
It's the harmonies on it and everything, and then performing on "Good Morning America" and everything. I was really digging it. I mean, there was a couple I didn't dig, believe it or not. Let's see, "Trust Me."
I knew you were going to say that.
I didn't really dig it because it just felt like let's give Howie a song.
Yeah.
in a kind of sense, you know. Now I don't hate it, and I can't even say I don't like it because I can sing it, and you know, but I just didn't dig it. You know, it didn't catch on to me like In a World Like This. I mean, Breathe, Madeline, Show What You're Made Of. But there was a lot of them on this album. It wasn't experimental, but there was a couple that I was like, it just doesn't sound like a Backstreet Boys song.
Did you like Love Somebody?
Ah.
Mhm.
I don't want to do it too loud because you know I might break something. You know what? I did, but it didn't sound like a Backstreet Boys song.
Yeah.
It sounded like some cliche kind of song that you hear on the radio.
I think it more or less was something that should have been on Nick's solo record.
That would be interesting.
I think that's kind of what it sounds like to me, you know?
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think what else. One phone call, I liked it, but again, it didn't sound like a Backstreet Boys song.
Right.
You know, there was a lot of misplacements on here, and but you know, In a World Like This will always be the number one for me. Um, I liked Light On, which is the bonus track.
Bonus one. It might have
Yeah,
been my favorite off the entire album, actually.
I used to love listening to Light On, you know. But
Yeah.
I think I enjoyed the album because hey, it's their what is it, their ninth album.
Ninth
So
studio album.
ninth studio album, and all you can hear is like the Backstreet Boys and their harmonies. You
Yeah.
know, every album was kind of like a hold your breath moment from This Is Us, you know, to now because I'm like, oh, please don't let it be nothing like auto tuned and
Yeah.
you
You never
know,
know.
you don't know because most of the time they're not in control of everything.
Right.
Um, and by now, I mean, studios should know what we want as fans, you know, especially from the Backstreet Boys, which is why we got
And
DNA.
A. I've got a story about that they talk about.
Yeah.
So jump into DNA. The way they came up with the sound, obviously the name,
Hmm.
uh, is they were all talking. Kevin had came in and said, you know what really makes up the Backstreet Boys is digital and analog. Analog being how they recorded everything
Wow.
from the Red album up to right before Millennium, where it was all on tape, tape after tape after tape after tape. Then Kevin or AJ comes in and says, then I started ignoring everybody talking. And I said, let's call it DNA. So AJ came up
Wow.
with the title DNA.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
man, pretty
crazy.
crazy.
Man.
Quiz time. The
Mhm.
first song they choose off of this is Chances. Can you tell me
Yes.
who picked it? And it's not AJ.
No, it's not AJ. It's definitely Brian.
My man. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think when he picked it, I started thinking in my mind, right?
Hmm.
It's his comeback song.
It
What if
is.
I never run into you? That type of deal.
If
Like,
you never smiled at me.
yeah. So it kind of like I remember when it came out, I was sitting in the hotel room in Vegas getting ready to go to the show. Um, and they released it and they released the video. And I was
Wow.
like, I was I okay, so here's my take on it.
Hmm.
I didn't love it the first time I heard it.
Wow.
I didn't love the
Interesting.
video. Yeah. Excuse me. That's just a cough, not a corona cough.
If
Um,
it is, it's okay. You're not anywhere near me.
thousands of miles away. I then I listened to it again and again and again and again and fell in love with it.
Wow.
It may be my favorite song off the entire album.
It is.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
is.
hands down, it's just vocally, just each one of them shine. The
And you
video,
know,
AJ produced it.
when it released, people were complaining. I don't hear anybody but you know Nick. You know they each have their part, but there's no chorus. Like it's just Nick singing. And I had listened to it. My not these headphones, but my nice, really fancy headphones. And so I didn't know what they were talking about. So then I put it on my computer, and I was like, Yeah, you don't hear nothing. And then they performed it live on The Voice, I believe, or one of those. And
Yeah. Either that or X Factor, whatever.
America's Got Talent, one of
Something.
those.
Hmm.
I think it was the X Factor. And you heard them do ooh, like, oh man, talk about magnificent, man.
It's crazy that people say they can only hear Nick because I think
Mhm.
all I can hear is Brian.
Yep,
Wild,
yep.
you know. It's
Oh yeah.
everybody. It's kind of like the uh, Lanny, Lanny,
Ah,
whatever
yeah.
that is. Like you hear what you want to hear, type of deal.
Yep. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Like remember I said you couldn't find Kevin, and I was like, he's right there. He's doing this part.
yeah, yeah, yep,
Yeah. And then you're like, wait, I hear him now.
yeah. You point it out, and it's everything changes.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Do you know who picked "Passionate" as their second song on the radio station? Who picked "Passionate"?
That would be Nick.
AJ.
AJ. Okay, I figured it was AJ,
One of the
but you
two.
know,
Yeah.
yeah. Ah man, what's your favorite song from that? You said, actually, what I should ask is, what what was your non-favorite?
Passionate.
Passionate.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't like it until I saw it being performed, and then I said, you know what? All right, you got me.
Yep.
But what is did you hear the bonus tracks? Like, because the bonus tracks are fantastic.
Yes, I think the bonus tracks are somewhat better than the actual tracks, and I was mad that we didn't get it when I
Best
bought the album.
days. Best
Best.
days.
Same here. Same here.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know why we didn't get that.
It's probably one of my favorites. I mean, hands down.
It's the people who wrote Best Days are the ones who wrote Don't Go Breaking My Heart.
Really?
Yes. So
That's
I mean,
crazy.
it's yes. I heard Best Days the other day. I was like, why is this not on the album?
Should have been on it. Hands down.
Yep. Yep. I'm just glad we got it though. You know.
Yeah. So Sean Mendez wrote Chances along with somebody else, but Sean Mendez will be
Yep.
the one that everybody knows, you know.
Yeah. There was let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There was 10 writers for Chances.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, so each of them wrote 7 words.
That's crazy. That's a way to put it for sure.
Yeah, let's just divide it up.
So Nick's favorite song off the album is Breathe,
Mm,
which makes sense.
yeah, because he kills it.
Yeah, he crushes it.
Yeah, that's a unique song though, man.
It is. It is.
Another one like, hey, look, we can still sing.
Yep. You gotta have one. You gotta have one an album. You know.
Yep, you do, and it's good to do that because man, if you don't strip it down, you have all those effects and everything, and you're like,
Yep.
but to hear it, especially live, whenever we had saw him, it's, actually, no, the Argentina concert. I was watching the other day, and all I could acknowledge was how this is live. you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even
Agreed.
though I'm hearing it through the stream, which is never the best way to, for audio, whenever you're streaming, it's really, really terrible. The audio is really good.
Yeah.
you know.
So how we choose the chateau, and this will help you never look at chateau the same.
Uh-oh.
Chateau, the Hotel Chateau. Another one that Kevin brings up is as all the boys were sitting at the Chateau Hotel, Hugh Hefner brings the Playboy Bunnies to Chateau to visit the Backstreet Boys.
Come on.
Dude, I learned a lot during this.
Wow. That's crazy, man.
That's something you wouldn't think about, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Kevin's favorite is New Love. And he says in it, I want people to listen to Don't Go Breaking My Heart, but I also want people to listen to New Love because it is his favorite and he feels like it showcases their new abilities, you know?
It does. I do agree. I would say doing New Love kind of show them that they're able to do a whole new genre and be good at it.
Yeah. And then they end with Don't Go Breaking My Heart to take them out of the radio show. So there is pretty much your Cliff Notes version of the hour and 45 minutes
I
of
need
what
to go
is
listen to it now.
all I have to give radio.
Wow, man, that's remarkable though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Sounds like a great episode. I'll definitely be listening to it weekly. I was supposed to do it on my in the car the other day, and ended up listening to what did we listen to? It wasn't Taylor Swift. It was something else. Oh yeah, it was Damian Wardo's new album, because I was like, "Ooh, let me check this out."
Yeah, man. So hopefully we can do. Hopefully they keep going, and we can do like every other week breakdowns of these type of deal. I don't.
Yeah.
They said they're going to keep going. Maybe they'll touch on This Is Us, Unbreakable, and
Maybe they'll touch on the frickin' Frack show.
I think they are. I think this is a tribute to us. My wife says it the other day. She goes, why is it now all of a sudden they come out with a radio show after we're 17 minutes in? It's crazy.
Yeah. They're like, well, we're doing 17, but we're just going to do unlimited. We're going to go further.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate everybody listening in and tuning in to this week's episode of the Frickin' Frack Show. Again, we'll release this audio version for the supporters. If you're not already a supporter, click the button, support the Frickin' Frack Show so we can keep on going.
Absolutely. And if you don't support us, it's okay. Just watch our content, give us messages, give us your support by just loving us and just being here with us, because we really do appreciate you guys. We're really excited to do these episodes together, and it's just a good time talking to someone about Backstreet Boys and not being judged, and we're enclosed and we're just having a good time doing this.
Yeah, man, I was fired up. I know both of us were fired up for this episode, man. I've been talking about it all week.
Man. Yeah, now I can go listen to it now.
Yeah. I'll strip down the audio version, release it to the supporters. Caleb will get his magic going on this, and we'll release it next week for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
This is episode 17 of the Frickin' Frack Show. I love you from Matthew. Caleb loves you guys. This is a podcast for the fans, by the fans. Peace.
Bye, guys. Woo.
And cut.